She clenches her fists, glaring at her show-off friend. One thought pounds in her head. What a poser. Unbearable. Do you know that feeling? When someone grates on your nerves, making your teeth clench, and you can't even explain why. What if I told you that person isn't your problem, but an encrypted message from your subconscious? Today, we're going to crack that code. By the end of this film, you'll understand why the person who annoys you the most is your most powerful, albeit unwelcome, teacher. Research by Princeton psychologists has shown that we form an opinion of someone in 1/10 of a second. Our irritation is an equally instantaneous automatic reaction. But what if this autopilot is leading us astray? This is a psychological principle known as the law of the mirror. According to it, strong emotional reactions to other people, especially negative ones, point not to their flaws, but to our own hidden, suppressed, or unrecognized qualities. The other person is merely a screen onto which we project our own internal movie. Imagine they're not the cause of your reaction, but a diagnostic tool, like an MRI for the soul. They simply highlight what is already within you. They don't create the illness, they merely make it visible. To understand how this works, we need to answer 3 questions. First, how does our brain even create these mirrors? Second, what are the 4 types of reflections that exist? And one of them will surely surprise you. And the main one, how do you turn this knowledge into a tool that will change your reactions to people forever? One of these 4 types, the so-called reverse mirror, is so counterintuitive that most people initially vehemently deny it. But it is precisely within it that the key to your unrealized potential lies. To understand how the brain creates these mirrors, imagine an old film projector. Inside it is a film reel. Your fears, secret desires, and suppressed beliefs. The other person is just a white screen. When they do something that catches on this film, the projector turns on, and you see not them on the screen, but your own movie. You're not angry at the person. You're angry at the projected image. On a neurobiological level, this is the work of the reticular activating system, or RAS. It's our internal spam filter that scans the world and highlights only what's important to us. If you have an unresolved internal issue, your RAS will pull out of the crowd precisely the person who will point it out to you. Psychologist Carl Jung called this film our shadow. It's a container for all the qualities we don't accept in ourselves. Laziness, greed, boastfulness, weakness. We don't just dislike them. We pretend we don't have them. But they exist, and they desperately want to be seen. The shadow, it's like the dark side of the moon. It's not evil. It's just unlit. It's always with you, but you never see it, until someone else illuminates it with their behavior. And this is where the magic happens. When you encounter someone who freely exhibits a quality from your shadow, your subconscious screams, "Look, they're doing what you forbid yourself to do." Your irritation, it's an alarm that's gone off for your own suppressed part. It's like a motion sensor at the boundary of your forbidden zone. When someone freely dances where you're forbidden to go, the system screams at full volume. The louder the siren, the more important that territory is to you. Right now, pause for 3 seconds and recall one person who has recently greatly irritated you. Don't analyze why. Just fix their image in your mind. This person is your personal screen for the next 10 minutes. Keep them in focus. They are not your enemy. For the next 10 minutes, they are your key card to access the hidden sectors of your own psyche. They are your guide. So your guide is here. They are ready to show you one of the 4 reflections. The first, and most obvious. This is the direct mirror. Someone annoys you because they do what you do yourself, but hate in yourself. Are you irritated by a colleague who is always late? Perhaps you yourself are unpunctual and blame yourself for it. Their lateness is a painful reminder of your own struggle. It's like seeing a sauce stain on someone else's shirt, only to then discover with horror the exact same one on your own. Your irritation is the shock of awkward recognition. The second reflection is far more interesting. Someone annoys you because they do what you forbid yourself to do, but secretly wish you could. Let's go back to the girl from the beginning of the film. The show-off annoys her. Perhaps she secretly dreams of being the center of attention, but her upbringing or fears tell her, be modest, don't stand out. His freedom, is a slap in the face to her internal limitations. Jungian analysts call this shadow gold. That quality that infuriates you in another person might be your own untapped potential. Your treasure that you've buried so deeply that now you resent everyone who has found theirs. The third type, rule breaking. We are annoyed by people who violate our deep-seated unwritten rules about how people should behave. For example, you have a rule, always defer to elders, and then you see someone who doesn't. A wave of righteous indignation washes over you. But you're not angry at them. You're angry at the violation of your personal code, which you consider universal. Your personal code is like an operating system installed in your brain. When you see someone running a virus program that violates your code, the entire system throws a critical error and overheats with indignation. And finally, the fourth mirror, the mirror of the past. Sometimes a person simply resembles someone, their manner of speaking, their intonation, their behavior. They remind you of someone who hurt you in the past. Your new boss seems unbearable because they resemble your overbearing father. Your irritation is an echo of old pain. You're reacting not to the real person in front of you, but to a ghost you've projected onto them. In psychoanalysis, this is called transference. In the 21st century, it can be explained more simply. Your brain uses autofill from the past. It sees a couple of familiar traits in a new person and automatically overlays the entire old, painful scenario. You're not arguing with your boss, but with the ghost of your father. So, we have 4 types of mirrors. But knowledge isn't yet a tool, because as soon as you try to apply this to yourself, you'll face your strongest opponent, a force that will scream at you, "This is all nonsense. The problem isn't me, it's them." The name of this force is your ego. And now we'll break down how to outsmart it. It's important to understand the ego's main task isn't to make you happy, but to maintain the stability of your personality, even if that personality is unhappy. Any change is a threat to stability, so the ego will resist self-analysis to the very end, protecting its familiar worldview. Your ego is your internal attorney. Its only job is to protect your self-esteem at all costs. To admit that irritation at an idiot colleague is a signal about your shadow side. For the ego, that's losing a court case. So it activates defense mechanism number 1, denial. I'm not like that. I'm better. Psychologist Leon Festinger called this cognitive dissonance. Your brain physically hurts when holding 2 contradictory thoughts. I am good, and I possess what I despise in others. To alleviate this pain, the ego chooses the easiest path. It simply discards the second thought. Furthermore, the ego loves the feeling of being right. When you're angry at someone, you feel good by contrast to their badness. It's a pleasant, though toxic, feeling of superiority. To give it up means voluntarily stepping down from the pedestal. The ego will never agree to that. Neurobiologists confirm, when we feel we are right, the brain receives a dose of dopamine, the same neurotransmitter as from delicious food or winning. Your ego is literally addicted to this sense of righteousness. It won't give up its dose without a fight. To bypass it, you don't need to argue. You need to ask one simple yet devastating question. The moment someone annoys you, don't ask yourself why they are like that. Ask, what part of me are they highlighting right now? This question redirects the focus from the external object to your internal world. It deprives the ego of the ability to attack. It's a technique from cognitive judo. You're not trying to fight the ego head-on. You'll lose. You gently redirect its energy of attacking others into the energy of self-exploration. The ego simply doesn't have time to reorient itself. Attention. On a scale of internal discomfort, this question is a 9 out of 10. Your brain will squirm to avoid answering. That's normal. It means you've hit the target. Resistance is a marker that you've stumbled upon something important. This discomfort is the same soreness you feel in your muscles after your first workout. It's not a signal to stop. It's proof that you've engaged a muscle of self-awareness that has long atrophied. The pain here is a sign of growth. And here's a step-by-step protocol for turning this pain into a tool. Next time you feel irritation, pause and ask, What specifically is annoying me right now? Not, he annoys me, but it annoys me that he talks without letting anyone get a word in. Isolate one action, one quality. This is your patient for analysis. It's like a surgeon's work. You can't just cut open the abdomen. You need a precise incision at a specific point. He annoys me. That's not a diagnosis. His condescending tone annoys me. That's the point for incision. Now run this quality through the 4-mirror checklist. Ask yourself with utmost honesty. First, do I do this myself and hate it in myself? Second, do I forbid myself from doing this, but secretly wish I could? Third, are they violating my sacred rule about how people should behave? Fourth, do they remind me of someone from the past? This checklist is your personal lie detector for the ego. Be prepared for it to scream no to every item. Your task at this stage is to be an impartial investigator, not your own defense attorney. This is the key step. Once you've identified the type of mirror, ask the main question. What is this situation trying to teach me? What unsatisfied need or suppressed part of me is it signaling? If a braggart annoys you, it might be an inverted mirror. And the message is, you lack recognition. Learn to talk about your successes. If a slovenly person annoys you, it might be a direct mirror. And the message is, accept your own imperfections. Your irritation is an encrypted message. The type of mirror is the key to the cipher. And the message is an instruction for your next personal upgrade. Let me give an example. I was incredibly annoyed by a friend who constantly canceled our meetings at the last minute. I ran it through the protocol. Mirror number 3. People should keep their word. This was my unbreakable rule. And then I asked the main question. The message was astonishing. My own exaggerated sense of responsibility prevented me from being flexible. I realized I was angry at her for the very ease I desperately lacked myself. In that moment I saw I was imprisoned by my own correctness, while she was free. I wasn't angry at her. I was angry at the bars I had built for myself. My irritation was a cry for freedom. When you master this protocol, something incredible happens. People stop being your puppeteers. Their behavior can no longer pull your strings and trigger an automatic angry reaction. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, but an explorer of your inner world. Your mood stops depending on others. It's a practice worthy of Roman Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, who taught that we are distressed not by events, but by our judgments about them. You literally shift the control center of your life from the external world back inside yourself, gaining emotional sovereignty. Every irritating person transforms into a free psychotherapist. Every unpleasant situation into a diagnostic session. You begin to see your blind spots, your hidden desires, and fears with incredible speed. What takes years in therapy, you can unpack in a single unpleasant encounter. It's like gaining access to a psychological stock market, where each of your triggers is a stock indicating a growing sector of your personality that it's time to invest attention in. Irritation becomes not an energy drain, but a valuable asset. Paradoxically, by ceasing to blame others, you begin to understand them better. You see past their flaws to their own fears and needs. Irritation gives way to curiosity, and sometimes even compassion. Your relationships become deeper and more honest. You stop seeing people as cardboard cutouts labeled good or bad, and begin to see them in 3D with all their internal bugs and hidden files, very much like your own. Ultimately, your irritation isn't a bug. It's a feature. It's an internal compass that always points to your next growth opportunity. You just need to learn to read it. Your irritation isn't a system error. It's a built-in push notification from your subconscious stating, "User, an important update for your operating system is available. Please install it." Let's recap. Here's the entire 4-step technique you can use today. First, catch the trigger. Second, isolate the quality. Third, apply the 4 mirrors. Fourth, find the message. Remember this sequence. It's your personal guide to transforming irritation into wisdom. This isn't just a technique, it's psychological aikido. You don't block the blow of irritation. You use its energy for your own growth and forward movement. And here's an important nuance. The law of the mirror does not excuse toxic or abusive behavior. If someone violates your boundaries, You need to protect them. This is specifically about irrational, strong irritation at everyday things, not a reaction to a real threat. Imagine someone steps on your foot. The law of the mirror isn't about why they did it. It's about why you specifically have such a painful callus right there. But the foot still needs to be removed from yours. And now, the main question that sparks the most debate. Is the law of the mirror truly a powerful psychological tool for self-analysis? Or is it a convenient excuse to shift blame for someone else's bad behavior onto yourself? Write just one word in the comments: tool or excuse. Let's see which gets more votes. This is perhaps the main dividing line between a victim mentality and the psychology of being the author of your own life. Where do you draw your personal line? We await your answers.